We are live.
As the clock strikes 7, the vibes alive. Inner circles here, where voices cry. Turn on your screens, let the magic unfold. Listening and healing as stories are told. Come one, come all, this is your time. No topics too tough, just heed the calls. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. Inner Circle podcast where hearts unite. Sharing our truths, bringing hope to the light. Community strong, we're never alone. Together as one, we've created a home. With laughter and love, we break down the walls. No topics too tough, just heed the calls. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for.
Okay. Welcome everyone. Welcome to our audience. Welcome to our panelists tonight. Tonight's going to be another great show. The topic for tonight is how can we be stronger as a community? How can we be stronger as a community? And our panelists here will give us, we are all set for a great show tonight. So hope you can join us and contribute. Number tonight is 952-594-5154 if you want to call, to contribute to this topic, or you can also put comment in the chat room. But how can we be stronger as a community, especially as an immigrant community? How can we be stronger? So with that, I'm your host tonight, Abe Kamara. We'll go around the room and introduce our panelists, and then from there we'll dive right into it. Miss Wayne.
Hi guys, Wayne in the building tonight. I think one way we can build like a stronger community is to understand what it means to be a community as a whole. Like understand the language of that first.
Okay, Jane.
Hello guys, it's good to be back here. Been away for a while. I hope to engage and enjoy the topic tonight.
Mel.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend. I'm excited to be here tonight. Join us. Let's talk about this. How can we be stronger together as a community? There are things we need to look into. So your contribution will be highly appreciated, and your involvement we kind of anticipate seeing that as well tonight.
Peterson.
Good evening, everyone, and I'm glad to be back also for a while, and looking forward to discussing this topic.
Okay. Patience.
Good evening, everyone. Looking forward to. I'm one of those people who stay out of the community, so I'm looking forward to learning and finding a way to be involved with my people.
So with that, then I will start with you. Why do you stay out of the community? If you stay out of the community, how are we going to make the community stronger? We come here as immigrants. We need to be together to be stronger and build together. Why do you stay out of the community? What's going on with that?
For me, I would say because us African, especially Liberians, we don't support each other. Like we really, for some reason, it's just this jealousy in our community where if you're doing good, they're finding every way possible to bring you down. And I realized that in order for me to grow as a person and be the person that I want to be or needed to be, I had to take a step away from my people and just grow and build the life that I want to build without the extra noise and negativities and all of that.
But if you stay away, how are you going to make a change? By you staying away, how is that going to bring about a change? It's something that you find, obviously, it's a problem that you found with the community. If you stay away, how is that going to change? How is that going to affect any change?
I'm at the point in life, if something is not adding value or positivity to my life, I walk away from it. Like being in the African community, especially being in Brooklyn Park where there's a lot of distraction and the goals that I want to accomplish, I needed to pull myself out of that environment to get to where I want to be and not deal with the distractions that are there. So
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mel. How can we be stronger as a community, especially as an immigrant community? How can we be stronger together?
Well, thank you, Abby. Great question. I kind of like this topic tonight because it has a lot to do with us growing as a community. I think there are a lot of things we can do to grow as a community. One of which is firstly understand your culture, educating your people as to where we are from. So cultural education, where you're from, and knowing that you are here in America where we have opportunity, how can you collaborate with others that you have the same background? And also empowering yourself, self-empowerment, right? And also sharing knowledge with people that need it, right? If you know something and you are in a community that, those things will be impactful to someone else who needs such knowledge from you, be open to share your knowledge as well. I think those things will carry a long way because, like we said, right, immigrant community will come here not knowing how things work, and we have people within the community that have vast knowledge in a lot of these things. So being open to share that and people being willing to learn will bring us together. Then also kind of do something called collaboration with other community. How are they being successful? Like the Somalian community, they are together. What are those things they are doing that keep them together? They keep having this lady who keep winning the representative position in North Minneapolis. Looking at those things, right? What are they doing differently? And mimic those things within the community to see how best we can grow. And networking as well, right? Like you, AB, you have vast knowledge in a few other things. So as we dive into that tonight, I will point out a few things. I think those are things we need to do to advance the community.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. First, let me just, make a point of correction there. It was Ihan Omar that we are referring to. A
Correct.
Somalian. She's been, let's say in Minneapolis, Minneapolis, she's been winning for the last, couple of terms now. Okay. And
Yeah.
her support, they come from the Somali community. So that immigrant community is not only Ihan Omar as an example. Right now, if you look at the Minnesota House of Representatives, there are a lot of Somalis, that are being elected, to that and stuff like that. So I think that's what you're referring to. So I just wanted to make that clarification.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. With that, okay, what Wayne?
I think as Liberians, we got to understand, like Mel said something, our cultural background, right? We all came here for one goal only, for a better life. I think as Liberians, we always got to have that goal in the back of our mind. And in order to go further together, we got to, and I said it before, we got to understand what it means to create togetherness. That means there is no competition, there's no hate, there's no crab bucket mentality, right? All of those are things that are limiting us as people from growing. I think as Liberian, we got to understand, like a quote that said, when you educate me, you educate a nation. That's how it should be, right, in society. But I feel like a lot of us, we don't have that mindset. We feel like, well, I gain this education, I gain it for myself, and this is why our community is stagnant. It's not going anywhere because we all have a me, myself, and I mentality, and it can't be like that. If we want our community to grow, we can't wear the lens of me, myself, and I all the time. In certain areas of our life we can, but as a community we got to figure out, okay, how can we collab with one another? How can we honor our cultural background and the reason why we're in this United States to begin with? I think we got to understand that piece, what it means to be together and how that look like as a community, as Liberians.
Okay, before I wanted to push out further, but let me let the other panelists chime in here. Dream, how can we be stronger as a community from your vantage point?
Well, this is a great topic, especially for us as Liberian. We see in our community, it's hard for us to connect with, like the other panelists said, competition, envy, jealousy. Nobody wants somebody to be ahead of them. Now, to help us build a strong community, I'm going to be, focusing on 3 points tonight. One is shared goals, building strong relationships, and enhancing communication channels like we're doing here. This podcast, like someone said in the comment section, is one of the things that the community, the Liberian community, need to get together. We come on here, we talk about relationship, we talk about children. If the community wants to grow, we have to come together and support each other, support our goals, have shared goals. Like when I said, what is the reason for being here? Right? Is to come get a better life. How are we getting a better life? Just for ourselves. We want to. People say, "Oh, I'm here. I'm gonna go back home later on to open business and stuff." How are you going back home to run for representative and stuff like that when you cannot even find the connection here to build the little community that we have here in where you're residing? So in
Okay.
order for us to do that, like the three things that I mentioned, especially having a enhanced communication channel like we have on this podcast.
Okay. Thank you, Peterson. How do can we be stronger as a community, as an immigrant community?
Yeah, so like everybody's saying, this is a great topic, and it's something that we usually shy away from discussing, from having honest discussion. So, like Christian said earlier, it's a sad truth that for a lot of people, especially in the Liberian community, since a lot of us are Liberians, like people we do not want to associate with our own people. So when we come here as immigrants, once we land on the soil, we're like, okay, I'm going to remove myself because I don't want to be part of these people. And we forget to know is individuals are built up a community. We just have a community. They have to be individuals that come together. And like everybody's saying, you need to have shared goals. You need to have that cultural education and always have a lifelong learning to say, okay, we're going to be, we're going to keep learning so we can progress as a community, as a people. And it's not, we cannot be selfish. We cannot be in a community and just be like, okay, everything is about me. I'm not gaining anything, then I'm going to like leave. Or because we have to bring value. If there's an area of life that you have knowledge, you need to bring that experience and that knowledge and educate the community. And that's how we can be able to grow together.
Okay. Just a little technical issue there, Peterson. I think our listeners are having a little bit harder time hearing you. So if you can maybe limit the noise in your background so you can be audible to our audience out there, that would be great. But so patience. You say you are not part of the community, you are not in a community, but the fact that you're not in a community, are you saying that there's no Liberian that you can find common goals with, common values with? I mean, you say you like to grow. There's no Liberian. I mean, Minnesota is not only limited to Broken Park. There's Maple Grove. There's Crystal. There's I mean, St. Michael. There's Morehead if you want to go as far as that, right? Places, is like, can't you find Liberian with shared goals that you can, associate with instead of just saying, you know what, I don't want to be like group everyone together. I don't want to be part of the community because Liberians are negative.
Well, I didn't group everyone together. And yes, I do have like an example. You guys are my podcast family. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday. We have shared goals. We're reaching out to the community and sharing ideas and educating them in however way we can. If it's positive, I'm going to get involved in it. But there is a lot of negativity within the African community, especially the Liberian community too. And that's holding us back from growing individually and collectively as well. And like I said earlier, if I see something that is not giving me a positive impact or contributing positively to my life, I remove myself out of that situation.
What?
Go ahead.
No. Finish your thought, and then I'll ask you what I want to ask you. Finish your thought.
Okay. Yeah, I have you guys. I have some Liberian friends that I share goals and my family as well. I'm just not in the midst of it. If things is happening, I support in however way possible I can, but I'm just not in the midst of it because I'm not seeing the growth that we need as a community. And it's best if I can't contribute nothing to make things positive. It's best I stay away from it. That's how I look at it.
So because you're not seeing the growth, if you're not seeing the growth that that you want to see, you rather stay away. Then you're trying to find means to say, okay, how can we bring how can we bring about this growth that you are talking about? How can that happen if you are staying away?
We have had some youth programs. I have a friend who does a nonprofit organization, and we try that. We try to get women, like people of my age and younger kids involved, and they're not looking into those things. They want places where they can go and party and have a good time instead of like learning new things and advancing and getting as much education as a community. And that, I mean, if I'm investing time, it's expensive. If I'm investing my time into a situation, you're not showing up to get a positive impact, I might as well find something else to invest that time into as well.
Okay. Wayne, I want to come back. I'll push you a little bit here, patience in that. But Wayne, go ahead.
Um,
You have your hand up.
Yeah, in a way, I kind of understand what Patience is saying. Like sometimes
Mhm.
in our community, people are stagnant because that's what they're used to. Right? When we decide when we're accustomed to certain lifestyle, we tend to want to be there. And as individual, if you have a thirst to, to eventually evolve yourself, periodically or make some changes, you don't want to be like in a community or around people that don't want to move forward. I think last time we talked about moving forward with people and leaving people where they're at. But I think as a something Patient said, I want to rebuttal is that no matter like how we separate ourselves as Liberians, we each have something to contribute to the community in which we want to see. I know it's easy for us to like disconnect ourselves because like you said, there are people that don't want to evolve, there are people that don't want to go forward, there are people that are content with, like you said, going to the club and just doing the same thing 7 days of the week. But I think as Liberians, we each have something to contribute, and I personally believe if we literally release our mindset from this me, myself, and I syndrome, it is a syndrome, we can really come together collectively and do something in the community. But I also understand Patient's point of view as well, because we do have people that don't want to move forward. Like, oh, and when you start making those changes in yourself or trying to evolve, they try to like she act like she all that, or she want to act like she's the only
Okay.
one that know book type of stuff.
Okay.
And again, it's not about me. It's not about that, because if I'm educating myself, I'm coming back to my people. The same what we see in the Somalian community is what I said that
Okay.
day. These
Okay.
people are in human services roles not
Okay.
because for themselves, but because to give back to the community. So some of us who are entering these social work roles, it's not about another race. It's about giving back to my community and my people. So
Okay.
I understand Patient's point of view though, in which what she's
Okay.
saying.
Okay. So Mel, I will come to you here. Dream just wait there a little bit. Mel, I will come to you here, right? It's like there's negativity or negative things in every community. Don't you think that we Liberians emphasize on this so much because we want to just use, oh, you know what, Liberians are negative, so I'm gonna stay away. It's like instead of trying to come there, it's like, oh, me, myself, and I, it's not only limited to the Liberian community. Every community does that. Why do we? I mean, I don't think the Somali are perfect. Okay, they have their own issues, but yes, still they're making progress. Why is it? You
Abby,
know, yeah.
I somewhat agree with what Patient was saying.
Mhm.
So the negativity in our community is a lot, even though I'm not in other communities, right?
But I'm saying,
But
right, that's not just limited to the Liberian community. Why are we
I'm
using that as
I'm
an
coming, I'm
excuse to
coming,
stay
I'm
out of the
coming there,
community?
Abby. I'm
Yeah.
coming there.
Okay.
I'm not in other community, but
Uh-huh.
here's what I would say to that.
Yeah.
Um, if you are trying, I will give you maybe one or two examples as we on here. If
Go
you're
ahead.
trying to kind of elevate yourself and you work, let's say in a work environment, and you
Mhm.
are in a place that we have a lot of Liberians, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you maybe try to ascend a little bit, like maybe you were working with the people and then you become like a manager or supervisor, right? The
Mm-hmm.
next group of people that are going to criticize you most will be your own people.
Yep.
They who didn't come closer to see how you made it to that level, so then they learn from you and then you move forward from there. But they will be the one criticizing you. They will be the one trying their best to bring you down. However, what I can say to that patient is, these things happen, but change does not just come easily. It takes consistency, it takes perseverance, and it takes patience. Your name. So combining those three actually with not getting tired. If you start something and it's not going the way you wanted to go,
Okay.
and put other people alone, people that are relentless. That will not give up because people not coming. You have one or two people. Once people start to see these things moving forward and they see a result, you see more people come, and the more people you have that will come to them, the more change we drive within our community. Change is not easy, right? Things happen in other community, but it's just persistence and consistency that will take us to the next level.
Okay, Dream, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
So here's the problem to what Melvin is saying. Having people come together, pushing consistency and stuff. The thing is, if today you come up and say, let's gather a group of Liberians to, start up this initiative where we're, going to clean up our community and stuff.
Mhm.
First of all, you're going to have people in the back thinking, but who's the leader of this group? Second of all, the money that is coming into the group, where is it going? Like all these little things. First of all, the problem with our community not being together. It's something that the root is really strong. It's not just like right now thing. This is from way back. It is about us being narrow-minded, illiterate. So it require a lot of education more than just saying like other people. How about we educate try to educate the community on, bringing people together, how it's going to help before then the consistency of making the change can come in. Otherwise, it's just going to be a circle thing. It's never going to get better if we just go in with gathering people to go and help instead of educating the people on what the help is going to do for the community.
Okay, Peterson, I'll come to you here. Don't you think? And I will bring Miss B thing here. I want to attack this a little bit, right? It's about Liberians wherein like we speak negatively about our brands, right? It's like that right now. Patience says she don't go in, she don't be part of the brand community because it's too negative. She right there putting the Liberian community down. They say, hey, like the brands are too negative, maybe being broken back and stuff. If we are not trying to, elevate our brand, but always speaking negative thing about it, how is that going to ever change?
No, I mean, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you, even though your background is still noisy. Something with your background.
Yeah.
You know.
But anyway, yeah. So I was saying, it's not about speaking negatively about your community because sometimes if we say, "Oh, we always speak negative," or we put our brand down, it's a lot of personal experiences. So sometimes you get hurt, you get burned out by your own people, and then it brings you to this place where you kind of isolate yourself and you don't want to be bothered. Even if you try to come around and you try to say, okay, well, let me put everything else aside and for community's sake, let me bring myself. There will still be people that will try to bring you down. And it's like everybody else is saying, it's not something that just started yesterday or the day before. This is something that goes way back. And it's going to take a lot, just as it's taking this long to get us apart. It's going to take just as long to bring us back together. So,
Okay.
and yeah, everything starts in little steps. So instead of saying negative about our community, we can try to be positive and put the community forward. But still, it's going to take time.
It said that then let me kind of issue of you. It said that then Peterson, can you go on mute? Okay, yeah. It said then that we are it's like if you say, oh, the Liberians speak ills of each other, like there's too many negativity, so I don't want to try. If you don't try, it's like are we as Liberians, are we a failure of failure that we don't want to take the what opportunity to change our community? Like I mean, patient alluded to earlier, right? She said, oh, she was trying to, establish a youth group, but when they were trying to recruit those youths or whoever it is, to come and help, right? Folks are not showing up. So what? So she gave up. Okay, she gave up, and that's it. Are we afraid of failure instead of what? I establish this. Let me see. If it take 50 years, who knows? It might not like. Sometimes I will. It's like it might take a long time. But who knows? A commenter said here, yeah, there are other folks might come around. Why can't we keep that consistency to continue on that path instead of just giving up? Winner.
I think for when I'm back again, we let's start with this me, myself, and I syndrome. Is the syndrome that is holding a lot of us back as a community. I
But
think
so no wait. If you say me, myself, and I, you keep saying that me, myself, and I, isn't that just maybe coming from you? Is that you already have this negative perception? Again, back to the brain. You already having this negative perception. Only the community is about me, myself, and I.
no.
And you
I'm saying
try.
no. I'm saying for us to start that foundation piece where we got to release that out of our system. That
Okay.
me, myself, and I syndrome, like is
Okay.
only me type of language. That's what I'm saying. We got to release that out of our mindset, right? It's not me,
Mhm.
myself, and I. If we want to build a community that is going to flourish, that is going to go far, that is going to do well, we understand it's not going to happen overnight, but we got to start by checking ourselves with that syndrome. A lot of us have that syndrome. I'm going to gain this knowledge and I don't want to, put my brother on. I don't want to put my sister on because it's me, myself, and I. It's a syndrome. And we battle that as Liberians because
Okay.
we don't want to help the next person evolve because we think they'll be greater than us. It's a
Okay.
syndrome.
Okay. So Mel, like Commodore say, and it's great, right? The job will go to every day. It's not positive. There's so many negative. A lot of negative to the jobs we go to every day. But we then put it and say, you know what? I'm not going to go there. We still go there every day. Why can't we do the same for our community if we want to build
Well,
a stronger community
well,
together?
well, I will respond to that by saying we go
Mhm.
to job not just because we want to go there. We go there to pay our bills. So that's a different, right? You have bills to pay. If we have money, we wouldn't go to work. Unlike community service is different from going to a job. I can do a job that I hate, but I had to go because at the end of the day, when my mortgage or my rent is due, if I don't go, I can come up with that. So we compare to go there. But how do we get better? How do we move forward? These are things we're talking about here, having this platform, communicating things that we need to do as people, comparing us to other communities, right? Fostering these little businesses, the Liberian businesses we have that are ongoing, right? Highlighting those. Yes, we spoke of education, but if you start a project or a program that you think will drive this change that you see, get people involved to kind of be able to communicate. Those are educative activity you're doing as well. Get people involved that understand the community, the dynamic of community. How do you bring people around? Get those things done. Talk with people you think that will help. Then you leverage not every area, but key areas that will bring people on board as well.
Okay. Patience. What are some of the initiatives that can help us build a stronger community?
Her dream had her hand out for a while now because she just asked the
Go
question.
ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. We'll come to
Okay. I mean, like I said, sadly, I have thrown in the towel, and that's just where I stand. That's just where I
So
stand at
then,
this
if
moment.
you are throwing a tower, don't you think you are contributing to the negative aspect that is associated with this community?
I look at it as in order for you to pour into people, you need to be where you need to be able to pour into people.
That's
There
being
is only
selfish.
so
Isn't that being selfish though?
at times you have to be. How can you help somebody if you're not where you need to be? How can you give if you don't have
Sometimes
that
people
within
can
yourself?
help us though
Muhammad
on that
Gandhi,
journey.
win. There are a lot of people who have had impact without them, be into it, right? Impact. You don't have to be like at a place you want to be. Sometimes making an impact, you don't have to be there. You can be at your most vulnerable stage and make an impact. If you say, "Oh, I want to be certain place before I make an impact," aren't you being selfish? Aren't you contributing to the negativity, to the negative brand that you are associating with the community?
Well, in a way, yeah. But then, like I said, for me, that's why I said individually. For me, that when we're talking, I speak for
Okay.
me as an
Sure. Yeah, that's
individual.
great. That's great. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
like
speak
you
for me
are
as
part
an
of the brand. You
individual.
are part of the brand community. So obviously, you are one of those who's. But
Almost
what about
definitely, I try to do what I try to do, and
okay,
it was
dream?
not going the way it's supposed to. And we still have people out there who are helping out, who are doing what they're supposed to do. And when I do come across that, whatever contribution I am in a position to give, I give it. If I can show up, I show up. But I'm not going outside of my way to do anything, because the thing with community is if you are in need, if people show up for you, you show up for people. That's just, for me, that's how I look at life. If I can help in any ways, once again, when I got invited to this podcast, I came on to give
So
my
for
input, and
so
that.
for you, so
Go
for you,
ahead.
your contribution to the community is transactional. Is that a fair statement?
Well, the community is not adding anything into my life. They're not doing nothing
That's
for
what
me.
I'm saying. Your contribution to the community is transactional. That's a yes.
No. But like I said, the community is not adding anything. I choose to remove myself from there because
transactional.
Okay.
I choose to remove myself from there because the way in which things was going, and I saw that it wasn't adding any positivity or improvement into my life, and I needed to take a step back to regroup and figure out a better way I can impact other Liberians or younger females in the community. And that's exactly what I did.
Dream, your hand was up. What do you want to say?
So first of all, let me start with an example of what when I was trying to say with the me, myself, and I syndrome stuff is if a Liberian finds an opportunity that would benefit the entire community, say 1 or 2% found it, most, let me not say all because there are good, I believe there are good people out there. If most Liberians find an opportunity, let's just say they're sharing money somewhere or, something that will educate or give that Liberian $1 million, he's going to take that money or that opportunity for him or her and their family. They would rather say, if I bring any other Liberian here, they're just going to get all over it. They're just going to, I'm not going to be able to get enough if I have to share. So if they have a scholarship, they're going for it for themselves, share it with their extended family members, and forget the community. Everything is about them. So that's an example of that. Now, how can we make change to the community? How can we come together? First of all, love. Liberians do not love Liberia. Liberians do not love Liberians.
That's
so
it.
in order for us to be able to make the changes that we want, we first of all have to learn how to love ourselves. If a Liberian person opened an African store here, most of the other Liberian community, how long that thing even gonna how long is that business even gonna stand up? Well, her stuff is too expensive. Well, they're gonna have a whole lot of comment instead of just saying, you know what, I'm gonna support you, but can you see how you can try to get your price around a way where we can be able to just encouragement or something. But instead, we're all saying, they're going to try to bring the person down instead of helping. So love is one thing that we as a community need first.
Okay, so what you're preaching here tonight, are you living by those principles or those values as a Liberian? Do you patronize all Liberian businesses? Because as it comes to us, right? We are all Liberians here, right? And we bring the conversation as a larger immigrant community. But now the focus is turning to us specifically as Liberians. Do you practice those things that you are preaching on here tonight, Dream?
Well, if the person is selling something that I'm interested in, yes. And let's just get this straight. A lot of people, when they're doing, especially our little immigrants and African community, when they're doing businesses, they tend to go with a whole lot of unreasonable pricing with their business instead of I understand you're doing shipping, your business is small and stuff. So if it's something I can afford, I'm gonna tell you I can afford it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you. But if I can afford it and it's something that I'm interested in, of course I'm gonna get it.
Okay, then forget about the business aspect. What other avenues are you using to promote the values that you are talking about in the community?
Well, first of all, I'm here on Inner Circle.
So the reason I'm pushing on that, right? Because most of you here tonight are talking about talking about a negative brand about it. It's just about Liberian are so negative. Liberian are so this, Liberian are so that. When it comes to you, is that you cannot point to one thing that you are doing to promote the community in a positive way.
I'm here at Inner Circle Podcast. I have to leave my business schedule to come help the Liberian people. Like all of us are doing. We leave our business schedules to come here and come see how much there's a lot of negativity going, especially on Facebook. Liberian people, I think Mark made Facebook for them. So they just use it to push all the negativity in the community. So now I'm here helping Inner Circle podcast to push the good in the community. I'm starting from there.
Yeah.
Can I just say something, Abe? I think the reason why a lot of other culture or other ethnic group can look at Liberians and label them to be very negative is the misusage of
Let
the
me
social media.
let me stop you there though. You were saying a lot of not other immigrant, other folks might say Liberian are the nicest people, but it is Liberians that are saying like this. The five of you here tonight, you have spoken more negativity about
I
Liberians.
said
We just
in
speaking
order
on
to bring the
the
community
reality.
forward.
Wait, Dream,
But you
What
wait,
I
want us to
said
what?
What I
wait.
said here tonight, and I'm gonna
Mhm,
repeat myself, in order
mhm,
to bring the community forward, for one, we gotta understand what it means to have togetherness as a community.
Mm-hmm.
That's
mhm,
the first one I said. My
mhm.
second one I said is that we as Liberian, we gotta release ourselves of this me, myself, and I syndrome. It's a
Okay,
syndrome that we all on this platform at one point have had. Maybe we're self-aware and we're working through it. But that's the two things I said on this platform tonight. I
okay,
believe Liberians have it in them to create the community that they want. If we start by first of all understanding what it means to be together and how that look like, and releasing ourselves from this syndrome, we have that power. No community is better than the next person. The only
okay.
difference is this platform that we have, this social media we all are given 24 hours to use, is the way in which you go about using it. The reason
Mhm,
why a lot of Liberians or other group might say, oh, Liberian people are yap, they're all of these and a third, is because we get on this social media app and act a damn fool.
mhm. Okay,
That's, I'm
Yeah,
not calling nobody name, but I'm just saying if we
right,
utilize it in certain ways, they will know the mess that go in our because other community
right.
have it worse. They just don't put it out there like that.
Mm-hmm.
okay. Well, Peterson, what can we do as a community, especially a brand community, to promote our brand, to speak positively about our brand instead of all this? Oh, we are so negative. We
Oh,
don't
Gaga
support,
Soup.
we don't do this. What can we do?
I think my audio is better now. So for us, I think one way that we can progress our community and to come together is to have a vision for the community. So we can each family have a vision for their family to say, okay, this is what we intend to do, this is how we want to grow, this is how we want to move forward. But we need to bring that idea into like the community setting to say, okay, as a community, how are we going to progress? How are we going to make resources available for people? How are we going to educate our community members? So we need to not have like these little cliques in within the community, but we need to have like a whole organization almost that we can come together and say, okay, this is how we participate, and we need each member of the community to be engaged and come together. So whether you don't like somebody or you like somebody, this is for the community. You need to put your emotions one side, and then for the sake of the community, say, okay, let's come together and try to build our community better.
Okay, thank you. Mel, don't you think Wina mentioned about social media? Is it social media that's driving the whole negativity about, like Liberians are so negative, all this negative energy, right? All of this negativity that Liberians are, associating with each other. Is that being mainly, is that a social media narrative? Is actually true? Because
Well,
here's where I'm going with that, right? Those that travel to Liberia, foreigners that travel to Liberia, man, it's one of the best countries in West Africa. They love it. Liberians are nice, and things like that. But it's like we Liberians associate this so much negativity with each other. Our brain is so damaged among ourselves that we don't really see any positive thing about us. Is this social media contributing to that? Is it
so
social media
um,
driving the narrative?
yeah, so what I would say to that, AB, it depends on how you use social media. Social media can be used to drive positivity. It can also be used to put negative out there because it's available. Somebody can be all the way in Liberia and see what you're doing here. A lot of things you see that happen within our community, especially on the Blue app, are these bunch of negative stuff, attacking each other, insulting each other, being dramatizing things, right? And just watch it. Here we are now talking about how can we, foster growth in our community, or how can we come together to grow. How many people you see watching this right now? Less than 20 people. I bet you just try to dramatize things and start insulting somebody, or maybe doing something that is dramatic. You will see thousands of people watching those kind of things. Unlike these things that are educative, that will drive positivity, that are going to drive growth. There are a bunch of these things that are happening, but how many people watching these things? So these are things we're talking about. The way you use social media might be driving negative information out there or positive information there. One of which we're doing here. These are positive steps we've taken. I just want to respond to something you said, Abe, before you go to the next person. We are not focused on the negative within the Liberian community. That's not what we're trying to do here. We are highlighting things we've seen over time within the Liberian community. I think we gave you some points and some things we think we can do as a community to grow, which is one I named here was educating about culture, our culture. While we are here, fostering network, and basically another piece I kind of mentioned was collaborating with other communities that are doing good. How are they doing better? How are they growing? How are they building these things they are building within their community, but we are not, and mimicking that to make us better. I will mention that we're just highlighting those things we've seen over time within our community.
Yeah, but one thing to that, though, you're highlighting a negative more than a positive. Are you saying there's no positive in the Liberian community?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Help us. Let us know the positive.
So you cannot, any of you here, can you name one positive, one?
This show right here.
This right here. Us coming together. You shine light on the positivity in the Liberian community. Help us understand what are the positive things that's going on in the community. So we can join you.
Okay.
Yo, guys, let me say something. Let me answer.
Wait there. The one thing I want to hold you there, Mel, you said the reason why Shadow Robert is getting more views than us because
I didn't call name.
I
didn't call name. Don't try that. I don't want anybody coming after me. I did not mention name.
Hold on there. Shadow Robert is getting more pissed than Inner Circle Podcast currently is because all that negative drama things going on there. But hey, to our callers, to our commenter points earlier, that shouldn't mean that we should give up. We should keep talking about the positive things.
Maybe let me respond to your question. Let me respond to your statement because I don't want this dying down. All right. Okay. I did not mention name.
Are you afraid of Shadow?
Absolutely not. I respect everybody, but no.
Seriously?
My brother, we are here to drive positive conversation. Let's focus on the positive conversation. I didn't mention name, but I'm saying examples out there. You see it, go there and see it. We love the negativity, right? People gravitate towards negative stuff more than they do towards positive stuff. How many good things we talk about here? How many people you see watching it, right? But see the negative stuff out there. So I'm not mentioning name, but I'm saying these are things we need to try to change. And somebody mentioned it's not just something that started today. It's orientation, right? It's within our with something we build within ourselves back home. So it's not just something that started yesterday. So you see these things going, and this conversation we're having here, having people sharing things, we highlighting, and having people kind of focus on those positive things will kind of drive us from that negativity side of things.
Okay. So why do you think folks gravitate? Let me use I'll let BB word them, but Mel let using BB word been they gravitate towards the drama that go on with the folks like Shadow Robbers or all the other people there around here.
Why did he Yeah.
I mean, sadly that's the environment we grew up in. We did not grow up in a lot of positivity. We have always seen Liberian go against Liberian all the time, and that's where everything, because if one person drama, everybody take it and put it on their head, that's where everybody is going. Instead of trying to find a solution to the problem, we add on to the problem. Instead of trying to find a positive route, we rather choose the drama path of it and go that way. So that's why the drama keep expanding, the negativity keep expanding, because they're not looking forward to the positivity. Like Mel said, how many people are on here watching tonight? If it was some kind of cussing podcast, we'll have over 200 people watching. And that's just how Liberian has always be. I'm not attacking Liberia. I'm not being negative, but that's how we go. We don't choose the positive part of things. We always look for the drama and have our name out there in the mouth, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, folks. Well,
But I want to ask you one question.
wait. We got to give our audience the opportunity instead of just commenting. They want to call. Tonight we are discussing how can we build or how can we be stronger as a community. How can we be stronger as a community, right? Together. So if you want to call, it's 952-594-5154. Our number tonight is 952-594-5154. You can call to contribute, or you can continue. You can make your comments in the chats and stuff like that. What was your question, Patience?
Can you help highlight some of the positivity that's going on in the Liberian community so we can extend a hand and join to help make things bigger?
Oh, there's a lot. There are a lot of Liberians. There are a lot of Liberians doing what? A lot of great things in this community. A lot of Liberians. I mean, there are Liberians that own African stores. There are Liberians that own Kobo shops, as we call it. There are Liberians that have non-profits. Our own Miss B here, she has her own non-profit. So they have a non-profit. I think, right, what it is, right? Okay, and you mentioned like Inner Circle Podcast, right? And not only Inner Circle Podcast, this podcast is just one aspect of what Inner Circle is doing as a community. We just launched a project, right, to build a community center that's going to cost about $8 million. Okay, let's see that go. So those are a lot of things happening in the community, right? But because we don't highlight it enough, and as soon as those that are highlighting it, we do not feature them enough. We do not talk about it enough. Like our goal in Inner Cycle is to make sure like we highlight positive people, the positive things that are going on in the community, not so much the negative things, right? Because if we focus on negative things, you're going to get negative things. I, for one, right, I don't like to waste my time on negative situations. Meaning, like, I'm not going to focus on it. And we in Inner Cycle, that's what we do, right? If you always focus on negative, you get negatives. And I think that's what we Liberians do a lot of. We focus. If you look all over this country, right? If you travel, every Liberian community you go to, that Liberians doing positive things. Even in Minnesota here, I call those that are causing all this noise. I call them the noisy minority. A lot of Liberians are doing positive things, but because we don't highlight them, if you want to get, like, if you go to Jumbo, you'll get Jumbo energy, right? But a lot of folks who don't do that. If you don't live in Minnesota, if you live in Minnesota, you know what I'm talking about.
If you want all smoke tonight, dropping names.
Yeah, hey, but we try to be, so it's like, so I'm just telling you, we need to let our community know there's so many Liberians doing so many great things. Medical doctors, okay? Male hair work for what? Medtronic, okay? It's like, folks, professionals, right? Winner here, she has to, there are a lot of professional folks in our
problems.
We need to highlight them. Peterson in Chicago there, doing great, right? What we need to do, Patience, as someone said here, find those like-minded people and work with. Don't give up. You guys are saying 13 people watching us. That's a lot, or maybe 25 or whatever. That's a lot. Guess what? Inner Cycle Podcast one day might be like 10 million views, man. And I believe that. And all of you here will be famous. But anyway, have I answered your question? So we can move on to that.
Somewhat. I'll take that for now.
Okay. Mel, okay, I'll come to you here, right? Wait, let me see if I can handle this comment. But anyway, but I'll come to you here. It's like you mentioned things that you are only like you guys are only highlighting the problems, right? Because you want the community to change. But why is it that instead of just highlighting the problems all the time, why can't we like find things basically like, right, some of the positive things that the community is doing so we can encourage folks to say, hey man, there's this happening here. Can you gravitate towards that to make sure that we further that?
That's a great question, AB. I'm not just saying we holistically highlighting negative stuff. Sometimes the work we do, in order to solve a problem, you first got to identify the problem. You first got to understand the issue, right, before you try to solve it, right? What we're trying to do here tonight is solving a problem. So we identifying things we think that are causing a problem, and those are things we highlighted. But I think we mentioned key things here that are positive. We should focus on those.
Okay.
Yes, the question you asked about why can we highlight people that are doing great? We will get to that part, right? We identify things that get us where we are that kind of cause us to be divided. And those are things we highlighting. And as we highlight it, and then we say, how can we get better? We name some of those things. As we go on tonight, we're going to highlight people that are doing good. There are people within the Liberian community that are also doing great, like you mentioned, that have businesses, that have things going on. Like the last time we brought a few people on the show that have non-profit organizations that kind of focus on mentorship, helping young people that are at school, from Hennepin Tech and other university around here. Those are things we try to highlight here. And these are people within the Liberian community. But how many people are taking advantage of these opportunities? How many people are gearing towards these things that will help them better all their lives and in turn to have that impact on the community? Not many people. This is why we try to highlight things and then come up to, how can we have solutions? And those solutions we kind of highlighted are gearing towards, yes, these are things we identify in the community, and these are things we can do to get better. So what we're doing right now is problem solving, identifying the problem, then coming up with actions, and then trying to highlight things that we can do to get better. Then we highlight people that have done those things. That is called mimicking, or basically collaborating with people that are doing better within the community or other communities. So I think I mentioned that when we started. So that's why we highlighting those things we just did as it relates to the negative aspect of our community.
Okay, Drain.
To Melvin's point of highlighting and then trying to solve the problem or giving inputs that will solve the problem. One example, we have Gizino. I think that's his name. I want to focus on right now on the Liberian music industry.
Okay.
I'll start with Gizino. His one of his music blew. I don't know. I think it was last year. Like it went viral. Like everybody was playing it on TikTok and whatnot. And then people started, saying, "Oh, Gizino is Ghanaian." Like the Ghanaians and other people, like, "Oh, Liberian people, music can't really go to that." I think the guy is a Ghanaian. First of all, he never spoke to that, "Oh, I'm a Liberian and I'm not he never corrected him. And another thing that he did as a, musician who came up and put the Liberian map out, the Liberian flag on the map, he, first of all, instead of using his theme to come back and see how he can help the other folks in the industry, he came out and started boasting that he's the best and basically trashing every other Liberian musician because his music is playing on TikTok and it's going all over in other African countries. So instead of trying to come and give his friends connection, he was trying to put them down that I'm there and you're not. So how can we fix these things? This is just an example. If you're doing good as a Liberian in the community, instead of coming back to turn your achievement into a competition as to who is doing better or not, how about you educate your friends? Show Nigerian people can say, "Show me the way. Show me how you did it, how you got the money." Instead of that, how about we come back educating and helping those who are, behind us, those who we feel like we're above.
Okay.
So I feel like that's one way.
Okay. But one thing that though, competition is good as a music. I mean, competition is not a bad thing. It's a healthy thing. Competition is a healthy thing. And by somebody saying I'm better than you, that doesn't make, him better than you. But competition is a good thing. And I think we should embrace competition. But I think again, right, is the whole we speaking negatively about our brand. I mean, talking about Gizino, patient right here is that she started, speaking negative about our brand. She has a master's degree, but she has taken herself out of the community that she don't want to be battled with because she feels there's that negative energy in the community. She don't want to be battled with that. So it's not just a Gizino thing. I mean, it's be said in the it is Liberians everywhere. We speak negatively about ourselves first, right? He said, right, the one thing he said, like, people say he was a Ghanaian, but he never corrected that. And my question is, why? Why you think Gizino, right away say, oh, he's a Nigerian, he's a Ghanaian, or he's this. But he knew very well he's a
I
Liberian.
think that's his own. I think, first of all, I'm gonna say this tonight. When this clinician blow up, I'm gonna always be a proud Bassa girl, Liberian. You understand? We never not gonna leave that behind, because that's where I came from. I think when people don't really want to identify where they come from, it's a lack of shame within themselves. That has nothing to do. It's more of an internal battle than external. That's how I see it.
Okay. Patience. Are you from Grand Bassa as well, or no?
No, I'm not.
Okay, which country are you from?
Lofa.
Lofa. Are you part of the Lofa Association in Minnesota?
No.
Why?
What do you mean? What do you mean why? Because I'm not.
No, I want to know why are you not part of the Lofa Association in Minnesota?
Because I'm not.
Because there's a negative in it. Can't you be? I mean, couldn't you be associated with your own people?
I do associate with my own people. I'm here with you guys.
No, I'm talking about those from Lofa. I'm talking about those.
Are you guys not my people? Are you guys not my people?
I'm going to pose a question to each of you. So you're not part of the Lofa. You're not part of the Lofa.
I'm not. No.
Okay, Mel, which country are you from?
I'm from Grand Judah. I'm a Crown boy, proud Crown boy.
Are you part of the Grand Judah? Are you a member of the Grand Judah Association?
Yes, I am, but not fully involved. But let me just say something to that, Abby. It's good that you brought that question up.
Yeah.
Some of the things you'll be surprised, right? You'll be surprised. There are people that still carry on that tribal mindset. I'm from Grand Judah, you from Nima, I'm from Grand Bassa, you from this place. We can't affiliate. People still carry that mindset, even in the Western world. And these are things that are causing division amongst us. Something that happened way back down the line that we have nothing to do with. We've been impacted and we've been affected by just trying to affiliate with someone who are you not from the same area. And that's tribal mindset. It's bad. These are things that are causing these things we're talking about here tonight, Abby. So it's good you brought that question on. I'm a proud Grand Judah, both mom and dad, and I'm happy I'll put my hand on every day and a day. I'll tell you my hometown. It's called Babotown, the intersection of Maryland and Sino. That little town there called Babotown, that's my town. I'm from there. I'm proud Grand Judah.
Okay. So you see, you are promoting your work culture as something you alluded to here. Peterson, how can we be proud of where we are coming from? Like, and associating and embracing that.
Yeah, first you have to be proud of yourself and be proud of your background. So a lot of Liberians, because we are speaking about Liberians, we do not really respect our background, but we want to elevate everything else that is outside. So we do not want to embrace our own. And a way we can do that is try to educate yourself first on your culture, how important it is. I mean, like we are saying tonight, our community is not just one individual, it's people from different walks of life and with different backgrounds. So make sure you educate yourself and people around you learn about other people, don't just say, oh, okay, because for me, I'm from Limba. I can't just say, oh, okay, I only know about Limba. For Nigeria, you have to learn to educate yourself about other people and be willing to step forward. So if you are going to shake somebody's hand and the person put your hand like close to their body, you're not going to say, oh, okay, because you didn't extend your hand, I'm not going to shake your hand. You have to walk with that person. So we have to all come together. That's one way to build our community.
So is it that I will put this comment of it? Is it like we Liberians then we are fighting an internal demon that is, stopping us from promoting our community, that is stopping us from promoting our community or stopping us from, like the whole Jezino example that, that Dream brought up. Like, hey, everyone was saying, oh, he's a Ghanaian, and he never came and corrected them. Or the one aspect of it, you go to a Liberian party, there's more Nigerian music than Liberian music. It's good that we don't want to associate. It's the whole internal battle. We Liberians, our brain is damaged, so I don't want to be associated with it. Peterson, you can
It's not
continue,
so
man.
much of that. We just don't promote each other. We don't love each other. That's
Love.
just where the problem is. We do not
Patient,
love each
you are a classical example of that.
First of all, let me
You
correct you. Let me
are a
correct you
prime
because you're making
example of
no.
that.
Listen here.
Okay,
Listen here.
okay, okay, okay. Correct me.
Listen
Correct me.
here. Let me correct you.
Correct me.
I am
Correct me.
a proud Liberian. Anybody that knows me, the first question you ask me, I tell you I am Liberian. I
Okay.
love my people, but
Do
at
you,
times you need to set boundary for your own good and your health. You can only pour in so much into the community if it's not going to where it needs to go. You pull back and figure out what is it you wasn't doing right at that time, regroup, then go back and extend the hand. And that's exactly what I did. When Sam invited me on this podcast, I did my research. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to come and join my people. I live an hour and 30 minutes away from everything. I was in my corner. I would come in and show my face and give whatever little advice or whatever I can give to the community to educate them, to impact them. I am not saying that I'm not proud of my people. I don't love my people. I do. I show up when I'm invited. I show up when I can show up. I help out when I can help out. So let's just clear that one. I'm going to make it some kind of white girl with glass.
I should clear it out. You create more hope for yourself. You see, live an hour, 30 minutes away
Yes.
from everything else. It's that you're trying to avoid the community. Isn't that what you're doing?
What if that's what the housing market was good when I wanted to buy a house? Why it gotta be about Liberian people? Why it gotta be about y'all? You see, that's one of the problem here again. It can't always be about y'all. What if the housing market was great and I want to establish something on this side before I can come on that side? There's so many things that could impact my decision of leaving my people to come and get myself together physically, emotionally, and mentally before I can put myself back out there.
Okay. So
Yes.
so when you travel everywhere in this country, there's a Chinatown. How can we create a Chinatown, a Liberian town? How can we start creating a Liberian town to bring folks like Patient from 1 hour, 30 minutes away?
I used to live in Brooklyn, but every leave me tonight,
He's on you, low. What?
leave me tonight, big
How can we start creating a Liberian town? Dream.
Man, Martin, I won't say that he came into that brain.
Okay. Yeah, I think first, now we'll go back.
We already got Liberian town in Brooklyn, but we got Philadelphia, we got and Liberian town over there. Every state has Liberian town.
Dream, go ahead.
Oh, before, please let me get all my point across. I've been right.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, to build a strong community, Liberians need to understand and respect their culture. We as Liberians, we need to understand our background. It's good that you mentioned travel or whatever. First of all, we as Liberian, why I'm saying this is because you see us Liberian, we come into this country, we westernlize. We do not teach our children our language.
Which country are you from?
Which
country are you from?
Try Gribble and Mende or Va. I'm not even sure.
Are you part of the Maryland Association? Are you part of the Maryland Association?
No, because I don't know one. I am from
Go
My mom is.
Where am I at?
Continue your
Yeah,
talk.
I mix. My mom is Gribble. My dad is Va. We from Malema.
Man, you vai, not miss. You vai there, Patra.
But anyways.
Go ahead.
But anyways, like we come to this country, we westernized. I mean, it's okay to adapt to where you're living, to the culture and stuff, but do not forget. That's one thing Liberians tend to do, forget. We do not teach our children that are born here a culture. One of the reasons I feel that other communities are growing is because, first of all, Nigerians, one thing I respect, no matter where they are, they know their language, their native language. They know it. A lot of us on this podcast, me for number one, I can only speak one word my mom, native language. I don't know one in my dad one.
Speak for yourself.
Another thing.
You lying,
Yeah.
sir.
If you go to the workplaces, if I'm a Gribble girl, I'm a vibe, I see a vibe or Gribble person, I cannot communicate with them because first of all, we don't have a general language besides English that is for the entire world, and we don't like instill and respect our culture. We don't do it. And another thing I want to talk about is what is it called? Celebrating
Oh,
people
that's
who
what
are doing, celebrating
Okay,
people who
can you hold on? We have a comment on it. What? Okay.
I just want to talk to you personally.
Oh, I mean, if you want to contribute to the show, or you can. Do you want to contribute to the show or no?
It's okay, never mind.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
She don't want to talk to you. Go put the phone speaker.
It be messy tonight, y'all.
Maybe it's so messy. I swear to God.
Go ahead,
I
Jim.
don't know what happened that weekend, but you
we
messy.
need to do as a community. I meant the first thing I mentioned was love, and another thing, in order for us to be able to communicate communicate with ourselves, is knowing our native languages, like where we're from. Melvin, you can speak your language. Mr.
Oh
Clark,
yes, I can speak Krum.
are you teaching your children, or are you in like those are the kind of things first of all we need to focus on, and secondly, the people like you said Inner Circle podcast is doing it, highlighting people who are doing good in the community and encouraging them, not just highlighting them because like for example when the negativity is too much, so people when people are doing good they hold back because they don't want to get affected. They don't want their stuff to get mixed up. So let's encourage those people. All the good you're doing, how about you bring it back into the community instead of staying back and holding on to the good things that you got going on. We have one Liberian, I forgot her name, but she's on Instagram. She's a really famous actress here in the US. I'm not sure whether she was born here or not, but she's related to one of the famous presidents in Liberia. One of the famous people in Liberia. She's here. Like people like that. I'll find her name, then I'll send it. I'll go search her name later on. People like that, we need to encourage them to come back into the community and like, what are some of the things that encourage you to take the next big step, and how can you encourage the next person behind you to follow? Like someone said in the comment section, let's teach each other instead of bringing each other down.
Okay. Well, that's a good one. First of all, your dad is Mandarin. If you can't speak Mandarin, that's a shame on you. But hey,
You know, did that not teach
different. That's a
You
different.
know, but the whole
that's a
speaking
different.
data thing, though, it didn't just
Uh-huh.
start from here. It didn't
Okay.
just start from here.
Yeah.
Most of us don't know how to speak our language, our dialect, because we grew up in a home where both parents were from different places,
Mm-hmm.
and the common language in the house was English because they can't communicate with each other
Mm-hmm.
in their languages,
Mm-hmm.
and that affects us. So they didn't have the time to teach her because it was pointless of it or whatsoever. It's not just an America thing. And you are right. People are not instilling like the culture into the kids these days. I
Okay.
always tell my daughter, whatever you do in school, just know when you enter this house, you're in Africa. Don't bring those people things from out there in here.
Not
We
those
need
people.
She in Africa 130 1 hour 30 minutes away.
I don't care where I am. I am an African woman. I don't care what country. I'm a born African woman. The way
Okay.
I was brought up as a child, that's how my kids come up. Not the abusive part of it, but that's how my kids come up. When
Mhm.
you're at home, you're in Africa. When you step out the door, whatever you do out there, just know when you're stepping back, you should know how you're coming. We do
Okay.
need to stand on that for the next generation. But
Okay.
also with us being in Africa too, our parents didn't feel us by not installing those values in us as well. So it's not just an America thing. I
Okay.
just wanted to point that out to you, Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's true. Sorry I didn't mention that, but that's where I was coming from.
okay. Well, folks. Again, we'll drag this for another 10 to 12 minutes. We don't want to go here all night. It's been a great discussion. How can we be stronger as a community? That is very, very important, especially the immigrant community and specifically the Liberian community. We are a lot here. The estimate in Minnesota is about over 100,000 or 200,000. Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, New York,
That's
Liberians are
sick.
all over. How can we be stronger as a community? So as we try to wrap up here tonight, what are some of the things individually can we do, right, to promote or sell the Liberian brand so that we can be stronger as a community? How can
I
we sell
mean,
our brand?
how can we sell our brand? I mean, we got to put ourselves out there, right? We got
Mhm.
to create those um conferences or those meetings or have those pop-up sessions where we can have information sessions, like to tell ourselves, hey, we're here, we're the Inner Circle Podcast, this is what we meet. If you have anybody in the community that you would like to recommend to be a guest, let us know. But we got to put ourselves out there. We got to create awareness within ourselves and also the space we find ourselves as well.
Yeah, it's not only Inner Circle podcast, right?
I'm
Liberians,
just saying as an
how can
example.
we sell the Liberian brand? How can we sell the Liberian brand?
I sell it every day, baby.
How are you selling it then? How are you selling it?
When my clients enter my office, they ask me
Hmm.
where I'm from. I'm from Monrovia, Liberia.
Hmm. And what's good about Monrovia, Liberia?
The food, the people, Liberia is lit. What are you talking about?
Hmm.
Disclaimer: I left at a age 3-4, but I
Okay.
always know where I'm from. I'm from Monrovia, Liberia, Grand Bassa County.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, that's good. Mel, how are you selling the Liberian brand?
Oh, that's a big question. I don't know if I am selling Liberian brand, but I will say this: I'm always proud to be a Liberian. I'm always excited to talk about my country, to share history. A lot of the times, people I work with will be like, "No, where you from? Are you from Jamaica or something?" No, I'm from Liberia. Then I give them story of how Liberia was founded and how we have the ex-slave from here back in um 1822 and it transitioned to a place called Grand Coast. I kind of gave them that background and then it'd be like, oh, and I name people that names are kind of similar from back here. So that's how I sell Liberia to people that are not from there. But one question you asked that I think I need to touch on
Mhm.
about, what can we do or how do we, I think we as a community, we need to try to create like organized events, right? Events like that will bring us together. Make
Mhm.
sure we do a really good publicity, right?
What kind
So
of
that to
event?
the
What kind of events that can think I bring us
well,
together?
like
On a
hosting
Saturday
community
night,
events such as
we
doing
should.
our Independence Day. We have a big day here, July 26th. That day, a lot of Liberians want to go to places they want to see. Hear people talk about the Liberian culture. We can use that event to bring in people that have vast knowledge in certain area, that are expertise in certain area or subject matter expert. Bring them to talk to people, communicate with people, share their experiences. I think those things, if we start to do it, gradually we'll start picking up. But we don't have that aside from the soccer field. And we just go there and play soccer, and that's it.
So do you
We
think
get
the city of
sweaty on
Brooklyn?
our feet too,
So do
not
you
just
think the
playing
city of
football.
Brooklyn? Wait, we not. Do you think the city of Brooklyn Park should create a Liberian Day?
Yes.
Are
Well,
Hmm.
you? I should we create a Liberian Day in the city of Brooklyn Park?
We already
1
have July
week.
26th.
I don't.
That's not
I
Liberian. That's not a Liberian Day.
Abby, it's our Independence Day. It
It's not
belongs
a
to us.
Liberian Day. You should. Don't you? Are you? Hey, first of all, I didn't ask you, patient. Where I'll come to you first. But Mel, don't you think we should create a
We
Liberian
are
Day?
family tonight.
Yeah,
I
please.
think
Because you live 1 hour 30 minutes away, then you want
Before you
to
got
talk
the
about
event
Brooklyn Park.
finish.
Yeah, I'm telling you. When we say on Liberian Day before you get dressed and come, bam, the Liberian Day will be over. But Mel, it's like you going to feed. I mean, you going to Liberian feed. Should we create a Liberian Day in Brooklyn Park?
I think so. I think so. We have a lot of Liberians that live in Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center. So, but you need people to advocate for that. You need people that will be at the full center to do those things, right? How do we do those? These are things
Mhm.
that will
I
drive
know
those.
someone, Joel
And
Reeves.
let's start working on that. But I think yes, we should have a Liberian Day. Man, we are many in this state, especially in our Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center.
Okay. So let me
Et
just answer the
plenty le
question, right?
fly.
There's no Liberian Day. July 26th come here is so disoriented. Okay, so no one's like it's not Liberian
All
Day,
the
right?
promoter want to win.
Everybody
Promoter.
having
Well,
their
well,
own thing.
Evie,
So there's not Liberian Day.
And
but
that's where
Evie,
the problem comes from too. We don't come together as a
Because
community.
everybody
Like,
money hungry. Me, myself,
yeah,
and I syndrome. I pay up
Okay,
to
one at a
them.
time, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. Patience, you just want to be speaking ill of this community because people don't come together. No, people do come together, but we don't have a Liberian Day. That's the point we're trying to make. Dream,
okay.
how can we sell the Liberian brand? How can we sell the community, right? To move forward, to to create positive things talk about positive things about Liberia. Like the one I'm talking about, right? On Liberian Day, all those Liberian Kobosha, all those Liberian African stores, it's like everybody gathered together to have a good day. Okay, Peterson, I'll go to you. Why Dream try to come on?
What was the question again?
How can we sell the Liberian brand? You in Chicago there. How are you selling the Liberian brand? How are you selling it?
Yeah, so it's like what Mel said. Personally, how I promote or sell the Liberian brand is any opportunity that I get to talk about Liberia. So, and since Nigeria is the most popular country in Africa, whenever this in our place of work, whenever they hear an accent, they just automatically assume like, oh, are you Nigerian? And then I have to correct them like, no, I'm from Liberia. And a lot of people they do not know much about Liberia, so that gives me a chance to educate them on Liberia and give them a brief history. And anytime that I get an opportunity, if we having cultural day at work or something, I want to wear something that represents Liberia or take a Liberian flag with me, and that gives people also opportunity to ask questions like, "Oh, which country is this?" And then that's how I think I personally
It was this computer, bro.
Okay. That's great. Dream, can you hear us?
Amy, we
Yeah,
want to
sorry,
empathize
my
with you.
computer
Okay.
disconnected. I had to
That's
join my phone.
that's fine. That's fine. So I was asking you, how are you promoting the Liberian brand, and how can we promote the positive things that are in the community? How can we go about doing that?
Well, someone mentioned, I was watching from Facebook when I got disconnected. Um, the Liberian event is a great idea. So right now in the podcast, in the Circle podcast, is doing something great, and we're not really reaching, a lot of people as we need to. So this organization can come up and take the initiative to host, say just how they can do the July 26th event. We can reach out to other folks who take on those celebration, like the July 26th event, other big events that happen in the community, and collaborate with them, make them understand that our, organization is about educating the community, getting like the things we're talking on here now, getting those messages out there. So I feel like Inner Circle podcast can take that initiative to, handle. Can you guys still hear me? Man, my
We're hearing
son.
you. Go ahead, finish your talk.
Yeah, so I feel like we can come up to handle that, to organize that big event for all Liberians connecting from all over the country here in America. That's what I think, and I feel like it will work if we put in the work. Like you guys just launched your organization, so this would be a good route to tread in.
Okay. Patient, even though I don't believe that you can sell a Liberian brand that
Oh
way,
my God.
what do you think you can do?
Yeah.
How can you bring yourself to that point, right? Forget about all these negative things about Liberia and Liberians and say, hey, how can you work on promoting the Liberian brand?
First of all, before we get to promoting the brand, we need to come together as Liberian
Uh-huh.
and learn how to love and support each other
Okay.
and stand as one.
Okay.
Then we can take it from once we have to build a foundation. We cannot promote something that we don't have that love amongst us. We don't have that respect for each other. We
Okay.
don't know how to communicate with each other. So
Okay.
that's a start. That's where we need to start from. Then we can find a way to promote that. We have to have love and unity amongst us for us to promote. What exactly are we going to be promoting if we don't love and care for each other or respect each other?
Communities, even if somebody community someone talk about earlier, they be fighting on TikTok and cussing each other, but they still promote.
The people
Ihan
can
Omar
shoot.
State gets
If you're not
elected.
cussing, shoot.
Ihan Omar State gets elected. Why can't we do the same thing?
Well, it depends
We have a Pastor Tapla here who has the largest, immigrant church in our community. Why can't we highlight those?
That question's for me?
They
Yeah.
will say, man, a fake preacher.
Oh, they will say, or you can say that.
No. I respect Grace.
I didn't stop it till now. Oh, my people.
They will say, or you will say that. But how did you just? How did you just can't say they will say?
He just here for basketball.
I'm telling you, you're taking from hosting job.
He's messy tonight. I don't know what happened on Saturday, but come here for you.
But anyway, guys, this has been a great topic. How can we build stronger as a community? You guys are hitting all the points tonight, but as we close it tonight, it's been a great topic, and that's what Cycle Podcast is about. We come on here, as you guys said, right, to focus on the positive, to talk about some of those things that's affecting our community. How can we improve it? How can we build upon it? So as we part ways here tonight, I just want to hear your parting message, right? Your closing message to our audience. This is a great platform, as you guys are saying. And don't worry about us competing on Shadow Rubber right now. We'll be here. All the other people, we're not worry about them. We'll come in tap them because we're trying to build this community, and this community is going to build. So trust Cycle Podcast. But Winner, what's your parting message tonight?
Liberians, I love y'all. I will never disown my people. But let's unlearn this me, myself, and I syndrome. Let us start learning to love ourselves to be able to love our brothers. Thank you.
Dream, what's the message you want to leave our folks tonight?
Love. But before I go into my love business, let me say, let's start right now as people who are listening and us that are here as panelists on this podcast. The things that we're preaching, let's start to practice what we preach on here, first of all. And let's learn as Liberians to love and support each other. If you see silver and gold somewhere, grab a brother hand and take them there. Learn, work together to build a community. That's all I can say.
So are you saying patients should sell a house 1 hour, 30 minutes away and move by the Broken Park?
If you are giving Broken Park money to go live in Broken Park, sure, why not?
It's expensive.
Anyway, Peterson, I see you. What is your parting message, to our audience tonight?
Yeah, so thank you guys for a great conversation. I'll say in order for us to continue to build a stronger community, we need to learn to share information. So it's like what Dream was alluding to. If you find out something that is beneficial to you and your family, it's most likely going to benefit other Liberians as well. So let's learn to share information and not just hold on to information that we think is beneficial to us.
Okay. Patience. How? What is the message you want to leave our audience tonight, the folks that have been listening? How can we build stronger as a community? What's the parting message tonight?
Well, I want to tell everybody thank you for joining us tonight. And my parting message is let us come together and learn how to love and respect each other and build a solid foundation for our community. Then we can be able to move forward.
Okay. Mel, what is the message, closing message tonight from your end? What is the message you want to leave our audience?
Thank you, Abby. Thank you for hosting this. Thank you, everybody, all the panelists here and our audience. Thank you for participating. I would say, guys, a community that is divided is going to fall, right? If we are united as a community, we're going to forge ahead. Things we can do, share your experience. If you have knowledge in areas you think someone needs it, be willing and open to share that as a Liberian. And also for those that are in a position to learn, be open and ask those necessary questions. Don't just say he want to act like he know it all. Jealousy can come in different form. It can be positive. I can be jealous of AB doing something positive and get closer to AB to adapt that, right? To kind of use that. That's constructive jealousy. Coming closer to AB. Let's learn these things. Don't be envious because somebody's moving forward and don't try to take them down. Learn how they got there. Things don't just happen by mistake. That person learns something that you need to learn. So learn that and move, learn that and use it. So the last piece is just get involved in your community. If you see a community, people that are doing good within your community, try to share that information, support your local businesses, and just get yourself around your people. Community is a powerful thing to have. Okay. And we are blessed to have it in Minnesota.
Yeah. Yes. So that's great. That's a great closing thing. But I just want to inform you guys, okay? Inner Circle Podcast is doing some good work, as you guys mentioned. We're going to educate this community. And Inner Circle as a whole, as an organization, we just launched, as I said, an $8 million project to build a community. $8 million project to build a community center in Minnesota. And our own sister, Mel stood up that night and contributed $500. Boom! You see, that's something. Patient, stay waiting for your own, because you're not let to be part of the community yet. You gotta come in the community yet. So make sure. So hey, folks, we should not give up on Liberians. Let us set this brand. And guess I can tell you, the community center is coming. It's $8 million project, state-of-the-art community center. It's gonna be Liberian owned. It's gonna be for the African immigrant community. It's gonna be great, man. So hey, we shouldn't give up on this community. Let us build, right? Let us build together. Let us sell the brand. And Mel, kudos to you, man. Everyone that contributed that night. You won't believe it how much we raised that night. Boom. It was a bomb. So it was a great event. If you miss it, don't miss it. Second anniversary. Next time we'll see you. Don't let it. Yeah. If you want rap, we'll send Inner Circle van.
I'm buying a new house out in the city.
We'll send Inner Circle van for you next time. Don't just be talking about the community negative. No. But anyway, guys, it's been a great show. And we'll see you on Thursday with another great topic. On Thursday, we'll have a guest speaker. So I hope you guys come on here. So we, as you guys said, let us bring positive folks that are, changing our community. But it's been a great show. Thank you all for tuning in tonight, and let's do it.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, it's that one